Welcome back to another episode where we look at my past mistakes and try to improve. Next one is Cool Dad, where I spent way too much money on this thing. So let's take a look. Let's clone it. Open it up. So I'm using 3 devices, and one of them is a big MC6000. So yet again, as you saw on SHENZHEN IO Solutions Part 2 YouTube video, Sebusol does this with one less device. So let's take a look at how he does it. So he's got RX going into X0 just like I do. He doesn't have this one, so let's get rid of that. He's got P0 feeding directly into the blue output. And then he's got one he's feeding P1 directly off. Rearrange these a little bit. Half of this game is like part arrangement. Okay. So that's basically what he has. So let's change the code to match. I think this is somewhat right, but let's fix this one. So I'll walk through this in a second. All right, so what he's doing here is he's waiting for a signal from this guy and then feeding it into P1. So he's just converting this bus output to a pin. That's all this guy's doing. And then he's got pins connected to these two. So it's entirely driven by this guy. All right, so what he did here is the same here. And then he's testing against -1, which I think is the same as mine. Yeah, I think it's just like inverted. He's testing for -1. Testing if greater than -1. So it's the same as testing for greater than this. And then he's got a bunch of... So let's move into DAT into P1. DAT is... Let's just rearrange all these numbers. I'll explain it after I'm done typing. Just got a sleep right here. Sub. It's kind of similar code, but I think he basically didn't use buses like I was trying to. Just use pins. All right, so he's moving X0, which is this guy right here, into DAT, seeing if that is not, if it's actually a packet. Then he's moving DAT into P1, which is red, green, blue. And then he's moving that into the accumulator. Then he's sleeping. Then he's subtracting 1, testing if that accumulator is 0. If it is 0, then he'll move it to 0. Move 0 into the different pins, red, green, and blue. And then I'll actually loop back to the top. And this is working because he's not actually sending data when it's -999. He's only sending data when there's a packet. And when the accumulator counts down, then he's moving 0. So it's much more efficient than what I did before. So let's simulate that. There you go. It's a pretty simple design. Nice and elegant. Again, congrats to Sebusol in SHENZHEN IO Solutions Part 2 for coming up with a better design. And that's pretty good on the leaderboard. All right, see you next time on SHENZHEN IO.